What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. Geas of the Light Selection Pack in terms of when it comes to the roster of certain cards of what I'm going to looking forward to pick up in terms of the deck experience, and based off from the main and extra deck cards in terms of what to look for. You guys already know what I'm up to. No surprise about the Madolche cards. You see me play Vernasilf Madolche for quite some time ago. And then for the Melodious, you see me play the Melodious in terms of the festival events slash the best of lady deck compilations and all that. So first things first, before we get into the program of the Geas of the Light cards, aka what to look out for slash getting the cards crafted. For Madolches, I already did plenty crafting for quite some time in an attempt to either A, get the decks finished, or B, keeping an eye out for certain cards from the new promo pack and so on. So for the Madolche cards to start with, as you can see, the whole entire Madolche roster, it's all set in stone. So first things first, on behalf of the Madolche leftover cards. Madolche Dessert. Normal trap, one effective dessert per turn and only once that turn. So basically, one effect or the other, you can't do both. It's either A, target 2 effect monsters anywhere on the field, including a Madolche monster, kick those effect monsters back to the hand slash extra deck, and then you can special summon one Madolche monster from your hand or extra deck with attack less than or equal to the total original attack of those returned monsters. Okay, Dessert is absolutely insane for starters, which is nice. And then, or B, if a Madolche card, spell slash trap included, is shuffled back from your graveyard into the deck slash extra deck, while this card is in your graveyard, thanks to the Ishizu Shufflers, for example, it is a +1 material to an XZ monster you control. And of course, to make sure that the card is searchable by Messenger Gelato, obviously, I decided to craft the card in its usual glossed out form because obviously it's a rare, as you guys saw. Cute artwork, by the way. But nothing could be cuter as the next card, which is Madolche Mini Meowcaroons. Link 3, Earth Beast. All 3 arrows are all downwards, bottom arrows. Bottom left, bottom middle, bottom right, really strong. 2 or more effect monsters, including a Madolche. Each effect of Mini Meowcaroons once. First chance this cat gets link summoned, add 1 Madolche card, spell slash trap included, from deck to hand. Seems pretty good on a search. And then you can target 1 monster in your graveyard, not just Madolche in terms of any target, but target 1 monster in your graveyard. The resolution is special summon 1 Madolche monster from your hand, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except Madolches. So basically, when it comes to the experience of Vernasilf Madolche, it's basically use the Vernasilf effects first before getting yourself locked into the effects of Madolches, which is no problem. Sure, it can be difficult when it comes to the effect resolutions for the rest of the turn between this card specifically as well as Madolche Petting Sensor. You're basically playing into the Madolche lines and nothing but Madolche lines. So if you were to experience the Vernus of Madolche lines, you basically once again use your Vernus of effects first, and then you use the Madolche lines after, before getting yourself locked up by these cats and putting Sister herself. And last but not least, for the Madolche section, I had to craft the 2 Tira Phrase now that she's out, and one of them is glossed out. Wow. Madolche Queen Tiara Phrase, rank 5, Earth Fairy XZ, 3 level 5 Madolche monsters to make it. But realistically, you could just literally slap the OG Tiramisu on top into this card, basically, and then once per opponent's turn as a quick effect, detach 1, target up to 2 Madolche cards, spell/trap included, in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, also shuffle up to the same number of cards your opponent controls into the deck. This is literally Madolche Queen Tiramisu during your opponent's turn. If this card in your possession gets killed by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, put this card back to the extra. Okay, so she's built in Hugin in terms of the last effect, which is absolutely nice. Now, onwards to the Melodious. As you can see, I'm in progress of getting more cards due, but at the time recording that this video happens, I'm pretty sure we'll get some extra URs donated / chipped in, trade them off, just so we could get the Melodious stuff out the way sooner rather than later. But who knows if I have ways to get rid of the URs that I do not need, but we'll see by then. But otherwise, Melodious cards in terms of working our way up. You have the 2 Melodious Pendulum monsters, along with their spell, and the 2 new fusion monsters. Refrain the Melodious Songstress. Level 4 Light Fairy, scale 1, while the Couplet, the Melodious Songstress, level 5 Light Fairy. Both are pendulums. Couplet a scale 9, and once again Refrain a scale 1. For the Refrain, 1600 attack, 800 defense. Scale effect, target 1 Melodious fusion you control, send 1 Melodious from your deck to your graveyard, Melodious monster, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to the level of that monster sent times 200, so pretty much of a boost up, which is nice. And then Refrain's main monster effect, upon normal or special, add 1 Melodious monster from deck to hand that isn't Refrain herself, and then if a Melodious fusion monsters, more than 1, is special summoned to your field while this card is face up in your extra deck, outside of the damage step, you can place this card in your pendulum scale. Each effect once. Couplet, the Melodious Songstress. 1200 attack, 2000 defense. And aside from both of the shared effects, which are each effect once, or even this effect once. So most cases for Couplet, you cannot pendulum summon except light monsters. And aside from the fact that this effect cannot be negated, of course. If you do not control any face-up monsters other than Melodious monsters, add one Melodious spell trap from deck to hand. So Stratos, while being scaled, of course, Stratos of Melodious spell traps. And then its actual monster effect. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it for normal draw, reveal this. Special summon one level 4 or lower Melodious monster from hand or graveyard. Solid. And then if a Melodious fusion monster, more than one, is special summoned to your field while this card is face up in your extra deck outside of the damage step, place this card in your pendulum zone. Okay, so these two technically share the exact same effect, which rely on the fusion monster to place themselves on the scale. Melodious Concerto. Each effect once. Perform a fusion summon of a fairy fusion. Doesn't gotta be Melodious, by the way, but fairy fusion from your extra using monsters from your hand, field, and or pendulum zones. And then if a Melodious fusion monsters, more than one, is sent to your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, even during the damage step, you can place this card on the bottom of your deck, then draw one. Seems pretty good on the recovery. And then the two fusions, Bacha and Flowering Etoile, the Melodious fusions. Bacha, the Melodious Maestra. Level 7, 2500 attack, 1800 defense, while Flowering Etoile is level 8, 2800 attack, 1500 defense. Both are light fairy fusions. For Bacha, 2 Melodious monsters to make it. While you control this fusion Shoken card, the activated effects of your Melodious fusion monsters cannot be negated. So that means they cannot stop your Schuberta, Bloom Prima, Flower Etoile, and or Bloom Diva. And then each of the following effects are Bacha once. If this card is special summon, not just fusion summon, but special summon, doesn't matter how she's special summon one Melodious monster straight from your deck, so E-Telly. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how she's sent to the graveyard, target one Melodious monster in your graveyard that isn't Bacha, special it out in defense. That's definitely something. And then Flowering Etoile, the Melodious Magnificat. One Melodious Maestra monster and 2 Melodious monsters to make Flower Etoile. As a quick effect, you can banish this, or you can banish until the end phase any number of Melodious monsters you control. Yeah, it does include itself. Then you can return up to that many face-up cards your opponent controls to the hand. Does not target, does not destroy, by the way, smile. And then that effect is a hard one. If this face-up fusion summon card in its owner's control leaves the field, no matter where it goes, doesn't count the extra deck, by the way. Just because of an opponent's card, you can special one Melodious monster from your deck or extra deck that isn't Flowering Etoile. Okay, that is absolutely wild. And with that being said, this has been James Polk covering you guys on the deck experience of Madolche as well as Melodious. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we'll catch you guys next time.